goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Connington, joined by my fellow co-hosts and filmmakers, John and Laine Woolscroft.
How are you today, Brian?
I'm doing pretty good. We're on episode 41.
So exciting.
So exciting.
Super duper.
And I'd like to say hi to everyone listening. Hi.
Hi. That was
are you out there?
a little strange.
Well, John only said hi to you. I mean...
I just want to tell
Oh.
all our listeners you are beautiful, smart, and you were loved.
And you are loved.
And you are loved.
There, that was your ASMR. Just put that on a loop and you can go to sleep to my beautiful grating voice.
Yeah, so episode 41. We had our big announcement last week.
Oh, does that mean we need to have like a midlife crisis, like a mid-show crisis? We're in our 40s now.
Yeah, I mean, we could if we wanted to.
All right, from now on, the show is just about surfing. Now, I don't know anything about surfing, so Elaine, you're going to need to carry the load here.
Oh, dear.
Surfing bird.
I don't know anything about surfing either.
Well, you see, you got to get pitted. You get so pitted.
It's so pity.
You get so pitted. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Actually, back to film.
Okay.
Yeah, back to film.
All right. Well,
So,
that was fun.
Well, here's the thing. Like with this episode and with a series of episodes coming up, it's Oscar time now.
Yeah.
Like we had our fun Oscar preview last week, and I figured with February being Oscar month, why not us do like the exact opposite
Yeah, celebrate the only way we know how.
with doing a month of shitty B movies?
Yeah, and shitting all over them.
That's right. So February for us. Oh, that sounds bad. February for us is going to be Bad Movie Madness Month.
Yep.
Okay.
We are celebrating all things trashy and terrible.
That's right.
Several episodes that are going to focus on, what constitutes a bad movie, talking about them in the abstract, and then, kind of working out their, I guess, place in the world and how they fit into, mainstream entertainment. So,
Yeah. And then
So
next week
that's-
we're going to be. Do we want to reveal what our movie next week is going to be? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to do it?
John's he's the enabler. He's going to say do it.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
It is the greatest piece of cinematic achievement of all time. The film that God looked down upon the earth and said, "You are my greatest achievement." The Room.
It's not John's favorite B movie. It's his favorite movie.
It quite literally is your favorite
Yes,
movie.
it's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh
It
my
is-
God.
No movie has ever made me
Perfection.
happier. As
Oh
The
my
Room
God.
has.
I just remember the first time I saw it. We took it to my family's cabin in the woods that has a TV and a DVD player.
Yeah.
And
but-
indoor plumbing.
But we,
And indoor plumbing.
and a kitchen. But we went out there, and I think he just wanted to take me to the woods so no one would hear me scream. And so he makes
He didn't
me,
just want to take you to the woods to
he
bang.
makes-
Yeah, that.
Well,
no,
he
not
makes
at
me
all.
watch this fucking
You wouldn't want to
movie.
bang in that cabin.
He makes me watch this fucking movie, and I'm pretty sure I didn't touch him for another 2 years after that. I'm just kidding. But he makes me watch this movie, and I just remember thinking the whole time, like, why is he... Wait, what?
Why is this movie terrible?
Why is he making me watch it? Like, why does he hate me, and when did it start?
Because it makes Citizen Kane look like a pile of crap. That's because it's the greatest movie of all time.
Fun fact, Citizen Kane is actually one of John's favorite movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We figured, this week we'll do like kind of a retrospective of B movies, and then next week we'll jump into The Room, and then I'm trying to get a B movie interview.
Yeah, we're trying. We're working.
We're
on it.
trying
We got
really
this.
hard
We got this.
to get a B movie interview.
So, hey, if you make shitty movies and you're proud of it, reach out to us.
Reach
on
out to
Twitter.
us.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
So we have a little bit of Pittsburgh news today before we
Pittsburgh
get into the
news.
meat of the episode.
don't we have a news story going?
We always got news
We always
bits.
got a news story. So
what's the news
I
story?
also would like to briefly shit on Casey Affleck real quick.
Yay!
Yes, please, shit
I love
away.
how I said earlier, I was like, do we have time? And you guys
We
were
always
like,
have time for
always
that.
have time for that. I would like to say shame on you, Entertainment Weekly, for using Casey Affleck as your 2-page spread.
No,
the latest Entertainment Weekly
they
has
didn't.
the Oscars, all things Oscars and the nominations and everybody who's up for awards. And like, I get it. He was recognized, as a print entity, you probably should do that. But he has a 2-page spread where everybody else has like a quarter of a page and they put him first. Shame on you, Entertainment Weekly. You infrequently get it this wrong, but I do not think that someone who has been accused of sexual misconduct with coworkers needs to be put front and center in your magazine, and just to celebrate him. Like, no, fuck you, fuck that.
For shame.
For shame.
Shame has been brought upon your home.
Pox on your houses.
I wonder if we can get a hashtag going for Oscar night of Affleck assault.
Yeah.
Assault?
Brian, this is what John and I do in our free time. We were literally laying in bed last night and we were like, what's a good hashtag that's nice and short?
Okay.
But like shits on Casey Affleck and how shitty of a human being he is. And that was literally a conversation we had last
Affleck
night.
shits.
And see, unlike Casey Affleck, I was allowed to be half naked in that bed.
Oh, it went there. It went there.
My. That was delicious, though.
Casey Affleck, you're a sexual predator. And if you want to defend yourself, you can come on our show. Or you can message Brian on Twitter.
Or you can message
Don't
Brian.
listen. I'm not going to get in the middle of this. Okay,
that's amazing.
I am not at all.
Well,
in the middle
if any of
this.
our lovely listeners have a great idea for a Casey Affleck sexual assault hashtag for us to use during the Oscars, by all means, send it our way, and maybe we'll send you a free T-shirt.
Yeah. So, John, does that mean that during the Oscars you're going to be like live tweeting that shit?
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, we're gonna live tweet the
Okay,
Oscars.
good.
I'll
Okay,
be live
good.
tweeting the red carpet too.
I will probably be tweeting that live too, but I won't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, hopefully people will be like talking about the issues. I mean, did you guys see Mayim Balik, who's on the Big Bang Theory? I mean, when she was interviewed, she talked briefly about her dress, but I mean, she talked extensively about the Muslim ban on the red carpet, and it was funny because she was being interviewed by a Canadian entertainment entity, and they were talking about, how they're both from Canada and, how things are just like different there, but just saying like how things in the U.S. aren't.
You mean humanity continued to exist in Canada?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's using it as like.
Who are you wearing? Muslim freedom. That's who I'm wearing.
Yeah, and but she used it as a, as a talking point, and I mean, I hope that we see some of that on Oscar night,
right.
to, talk about some of the things that are going on in the world, but yeah, anyway, briefly shitting on Casey Affleck. Moving on from that, so super exciting. We have a new entertainment TV show coming our way that's filming in Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
So we have something. It's called Gone, and it's based on
pretty abrupt.
the Chelsea Kane novel. It's called One Kick.
Okay.
And this is pretty cool. I feel like I've seen this sort of plot line in a couple of things, but never centered on itself. The book is about a little girl named Kick Lanigan, and she was kidnapped at the age of 6. Yeah, it's a funny name. But she was kidnapped at the age of 6 and then rescued when she was 11. So she was in captivity for a long time. And in the early months, like after her being saved, she, of course, tried to go back to normal society and kind of go back to her life as a little kid, but she found it, difficult even despite, supportive parents and therapy and all that. But the
other kids are into like video games instead of being hosed in a dark, cellar somewhere by a man in a clown mask.
I mean, everybody has their different things, and adolescence is hard to navigate anyway.
I was into that, because of my Uncle Bud, but
John, let's not trivialize these things. Something bad happened to this character, and nothing,
it's
nothing
fiction.
bad happened to you. But nothing bad happened to you, so don't pretend like it did. So the only thing that really helps is the FBI agent that rescued her comes in and decides to teach her like how to fight, and so she starts martial arts. She starts kickboxing and
nice.
Trying not to be a victim. And then as she grows into adulthood, she has a decision to make, whether she wants to help with cases of other abductees like she was and kind of tap into all of her old memories or not. And I think that in the TV series Gone, she will have decided yes indeed to do so.
Oh, okay.
So she's not a kid in it. She's
I think in the book
I'm also
it's like
noticing
Will she
because
do
I'm looking
this?
at the article from Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And this is interesting because I now live there.
Yeah.
So I guess the executive producer of this thing, her name's Kim Moses, is from Denora, which is now where I live.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, you had told me that there was a new thing filming here, and I was like, "Oh, is that how you found it?" Because
No,
she's
I
from
didn't.
there,
I did not find it that way. I found it because I'd seen it pop up, in the Post Gazette, and then of course it gets shared on Facebook.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I'm not super familiar with the lead character now, and the character's name is Kit Lanigan, but she's known as Kit, I guess. And she's played by Levin Rambin, and I'm not familiar with her. She was on True Detective, I guess.
Yeah.
But the FBI agent is played by Chris Noth from The Good Wife, and then Sex and the City watchers will recognize him as Mr. Big. So
I wonder if they're gonna be filming in Denora.
I don't know. That'd be cool if they were.
I'll be like going to empty the trash, and there'll be all those fucking trucks out and all that shit taking up.
Quiet on the set.
There's no space, by the way, on the street to do anything like that. So. Good luck with that, guys. If you can figure out space on Ida Avenue, how to fucking put a truck down there, good luck for you, because there's no space.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have some pretty big names attached to the project, at least as far as former producers of really successful shows go. I mean, former Dexter executive producer Sarah Colleton's on the project.
Okay.
And then Barry O'Brien from The Following is on the project as well. So, I mean, some pretty decent names.
Is this on television, or is this like a Hulu or Netflix?
It doesn't have a
NBC.
home yet. It doesn't have a home yet. It's
NBC Universal.
It's an NBC Universal international entity, but it's also teamed up with Germany's RTL and France's TFI, and doesn't have a domestic outlet for air. But that's pretty standard.
My
for
guess is
this format
they'll probably pilot it on NBC. And then kind of just see what happens to it.
It's possible.
That's typically how this works.
Yeah, and it's something we won't see for a while, in the developing stages. But they have hired a production manager here in Pittsburgh, so that's how that they really know that they're filming it here. So,
well, that's interesting because
it'll be cool.
I'm actually reading it. It says they're doing a full 12 1-hour episodes.
That's great. That's great.
I mean that they're obviously past the pilot stage. Mm-hmm. So hey. Good for them.
Very cool. Very cool. Something neat to see, something new. And I think the story's cool. Like, it's something that you maybe see, like, on one episode here or there of, like, another show of, like, a little kid being kidnapped and then released or, But I think the idea of, like, them growing up and, deciding whether or not to help
kick some ass.
Very cool. Very cool. And I'm all about seeing, strong female leads kick some ass.
That's right. That's right.
So, so a little bit of Pittsburgh news for you guys. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have all things B-movie for you on Cinema Psycho's show.
Hey, yo, I'm Ed Bailey. I'm here with
Dave Bracey.
And we are the Drinking Partners Podcast on Epicast Network. Fucked it up. Make sure you check us out, man. We got the Comedy Fuel, which is really supposed to be beer fueled comedy podcast, but
Craft Fuel Beer Potter. Craft Beer Fuel Pot. Motherfucker,
right.
Man. I'm gonna have to write that down.
What up? Craft Fuel Beer Podcast.
Yeah, Craft Fuel.
Craft Brew Fuel Craft Beer Fuel Podcast. Okay. Craft Brew Fuel. Craft Beer Fuel Comedy. Those are not 4 words that you say normally. All right. Craft Brew. You knew that I was going to fuck up. You knew it. Craft Beer Fuel Comedy Podcast. All right, so Craft Beer Fuel Comedy Podcast on.
You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us at partnerspod on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn under Drinking Partners.
Yo, if you ain't heard and if you don't know, Drinking Partners is the crew, Epicast is the family. Make sure you check us out, man.
And we're back. Thank you to Epicast for that awesome little bump there. We're going to try to do that nowadays since we're part of the quote-unquote network.
Yeah,
we sold out, man.
We sold out.
We sold out to the man.
Yeah.
We went corporate.
We went corporate.
No way.
You know
No
what?
way.
We
Not
didn't
at
sell
all.
out. We bought in. Okay?
No way.
No.
Okay.
Nah, everybody
No,
at Epicast has been so awesome.
I've been listening to a lot of their podcasts. Like I think I told you guys I was binging Drinking Partners.
Yeah, man.
I'm now on like episode
Well, that's funny because I was
61.
binge drinking.
We've been. I mean,
Well, no, not. I was. It was in drinking parties. It was. Does it hold up? Does it hold up? I've been mentioning them. Those guys are fucking hilarious. Like I've been kind of going back and forth with them on the Psycho Show Twitter. They're fucking hilarious. You listen to any of their shows?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean,
I've been
we're in
cracking
really
up.
good effing company, you guys.
Really
like,
good
no
effing
doubt
company.
about that.
Yeah.
So listen to all the Epicast shows there, but just listen to us most of all.
Yeah.
Most of all.
Most of all.
Of course.
Listen to them too. After you're done listening to this on your drive-in,
Listen to my voice. Just listen to my voice. Nothing but my voice. All the time.
Okay, so there's that.
Okay, gonna vomit. Nice.
But yeah, you completely lost my train of thought there. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna talk about B movies.
B movies.
So
it's kind of fitting.
So just as horrifying as what John just did is B movies.
So this is kind of interesting. I kind of put out on Facebook and Twitter today that we were doing this recording. And what was interesting was that I had a couple people who were like, well, can you define what a B movie is?
Right, and that's what.
And
we're
I
here
was
for.
kind of taken aback by
We're
that.
here to
I think
teach.
that's a good way to start, because I did want to make this point right up front. I see a B movie as, or bad movie, however you want to define it, as a movie that tries to achieve something and fails. I do not care for movies like House of the Dead or movies that are purposely, they know they're making crap and they don't care. I'm basically, it's Schadenfreude. I'm just reveling in failure. Like when a director has like a great goal or purpose in place, and then it just completely collapses on itself.
And that's a good hallmark to go by, because you look at something like Troll 2.
Yes.
That filmmaker thought he was creating high art.
And that's the thing. And actually, I took this from Facebook. So, okay. Because I call people out. Because, here's the thing. I see a lot of people who go in and they like our shit. They'll give, here's a like. But it's like, I want comments. I want to see what do you think? Put this stuff out. I want
start
comments.
a discussion.
It's like a like is great. I will take a like any day.
And we appreciate you.
We appreciate all likes,
of course.
but comments, guys. So I called people out because I'm like, I want to fucking talk about this shit. And so I replied to this is from David Federer, and he's like, can you qualify a B movie for me? And I said, sure. So here's my definition. Okay, and it's
I
kind
think
of
you
in line.
agree with John.
I do. I said the B movie is basically it follows a couple things. One, it's a low budget. Okay, it's an independent film. Okay, it typically features a combination of a weak story, lackluster or over the top performances, cheesy effects, and a ridiculous concept. Yet it is created by filmmakers who view their film in a far more grandiose and elevated light than it actually is.
The only thing that I'll disagree with you on there is there can be very high budgeted studio B movies that are just well, see, are we talking B movies? Are we talking bad movies? Are we talking both?
See that's the thing is kind of like you, I don't consider Sharknado or any of the movies that come out of the studio called The Asylum, which are always shown on the Sci-Fi Channel, as B movies. I consider them just crap. Because
How dare you?
the
Sharknado
reason why
was a gem.
no, it's not a fucking gem. Okay, because they know what they're making. They know they're making shit.
They're making fun of B movies. They already know what they're doing. They're not trying to create.
I don't
art.
think they're that meta.
Really,
I really don't.
I think they know they're making a terrible.
Well,
movie.
I think they know they're making shit, but I don't think they're doing it for like a meta type reason. I don't think they're like, oh, we're gonna mock B movies. I don't think it's that way.
I mean, I don't think they did a specific homage that was thoughtful or fabricated in time, but
they're pumping a movie out as fast as possible to make a profit. And no matter how crappy it looks, no matter how bad it's acted, it's just like, let's just get this made as quick as possible to make a cheap dollar.
And that's kind of why I don't view...
The Adam Sandler effect.
Yeah. The Adam Sandler effect.
The Shut Up Laine, You're Wrong podcast, brought to you by Epicast Network.
Shut up, woman. Get back in the kitchen and take your shoes off.
Them are fighting words right there.
Two-part question, John?
Yeah,
Fuck you and go fuck
That's
yourself.
not a question. That's also not a question. Hey, Laine, after you make me a steak dinner, how about you give me a blowjob, huh? Hey, mouth and then dick.
The greatest part is that we're married and you will get neither of those things now for 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
Enjoy.
Is that punishment for you guys? Like, you do something wrong, or it's like, well, fine, 2 weeks of no blowjobs or steaks.
No, I don't believe in withholding sex. I find other ways to torture.
She just withholds the rims.
Oh, Jesus, John.
Or you could pull like a Wolf of Wall Street thing and just like do the whole Margot Robbie shit. Be like, you're not getting any of this.
Oh, I could do that. I look remarkably like Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Just be like, you're getting none of this
Listeners,
shit.
does she?
Fuck you again.
But just getting back on track.
It's all John's fault.
It's all
always
John's
his
fault. I just view like any type of movie that tries to make a shitty film or not be movies because it lacks the soul.
I agree. I said, the
Troll 2,
filmmakers need to think
good
that they have
example of
made
that.
something great. And The Room too. I mean, Tommy Wiseau thinks he's the greatest filmmaker of all time.
Well, I think it's the difference between Birdemic and Birdemic 2.
Well, yeah, because of course,
You know?
Birdemic 2, they knew what they were doing.
Yes.
And that ruined it. It's not fun anymore.
They had no idea making the first one, and then they realized what everybody loved about the movie was all the horrible stuff. So they tried to mimic it, what you can't do.
You can't. It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
true.
Brian, you said low budget. What about Battlefield Earth or Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, Catwoman, Batman
Those are just
and
bad
Robin?
movies.
Those are just
aren't
bad
B
movies.
I do agree with with Brian that a B movie does have to be low budget, but a bad movie can have any budget.
Yeah,
I
mean
do
those
think
is
B
just
movies
like
and bad movies aren't the
really
same thing.
bad movies. I mean, it's tough because the way I look at it is like the independent filmmaker who is just scraping by. Like I'm thinking of like Ed Wood. Okay, he didn't have any studio backing, so he had to do shit like have Tor Johnson get pulled up by two cops when he's trying to get out of a grave because he couldn't get out of the grave physically. Things along those lines. I don't really see that from a big budget film. A big budget film, I mean, Battlefield Earth might be the exception because, they clearly went in thinking that they were going to make the next fucking Star Wars, and clearly it was not. It was just a bunch of Dutch angles with a bunch of weird shit thrown over top of the film,
Well, you were still learning to spell your name. I was conquering galaxies.
Brought to you by the Church of Scientology.
Wow. Well, too, I mean, I think that budget's a tricky thing to try to classify too much, though, because it is all relative. So,
Yeah.
you have a movie, say, like Catwoman, and I don't know the budget offhand, but, if you
Probably
look at...
way more than they deserve.
Way more.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's probably several tens of millions, if not,
I'm going to throw out a guess before you finish your point. I'm going to say it had a budget of $78 million.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's more money than any independent production can dream of
Right.
in a million years. But if you look at something like The Room cost $6 million to make, which is also insanely high for an independent film.
How in the hell?
What he spent it on is what I want to know.
Budget. How much did you guys think?
John said 78.
78 million?
Yeah.
100.
Wow, you weren't far. So yeah,
100 million gross 40 million.
So again, and I would say that that's also a fair amount of money, like an average amount of money for that type of movie as
For
well.
a blockbuster, absolutely.
Yeah, so budget's hard to say because there's varying degrees, and I would say maybe like The Room would be a little bit on the higher end of the independent spectrum.
Yeah.
But too, I mean, you also have to like adjust for inflation, and a lot of these B movies are a little bit older, so I do think that it has to be low budget in the brackets of independent production. You could have a bad movie that's a Hollywood production that still wasn't like that expensive to make, but it would be way more money than any like independent filmmaker could dream of. So I think that that's like the delineation.
I also
Bad
look at
movies
that-
can be any budget, but
yeah,
B
bad-
movies have to be cheap.
Bad movies can be any budget, and like, here's the thing: I don't go ahead and say I'm going to go watch Battlefield Earth. Like, I don't see myself saying, "Oh, you know what? It's a Sunday. I think I'm gonna go watch Battlefield Earth."
Feeling good on a Sunday, watching
Feeling
Battlefield
good on
Earth.
Sunday. Watch some Battlefield Earth. No,
Even Kelly Preston doesn't say that.
Oh,
oh, you know that he jacks it off wearing his what was the name of his character?
I don't know.
Was it Kerr?
Captain Dildo.
Dildo. He's wearing that Battlefield Earth costume and makeup every single time he's jacking it. Like, I made a good movie. Tears for lubrication. But
I was in Pulp Fiction. Oh my god.
But I guess the difference is like I can go ahead and say, hey, I'm gonna go watch Troll 2, or I'm gonna go even watch The Room, because I get enjoyment for how ridiculous it is.
Well, too, I mean, they've become over time very social kinds of things. I mean, Troll 2's had its own phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about Best Worst Movie when we talked about Troll 2, where people come out in droves to see the movie together socially.
I don't see people coming out in droves to see Battlefield Earth.
No, and I don't either, unless there's like a riff tracks or something, right? Like that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, that is the difference.
You know, you're a big budget movie if Riff Tracks is trying to do a riff of your movie.
Absolutely.
Right? So. And two, even people, and John and I have been to one of these here in the city. We went to the Hollywood Theater, you know, that we, all three of us love, but they did a showing of The Room at the Hollywood Theater and had like all the interactive kinds of elements to it. And it was amazing. Like seeing it with other people was incredible because I'd only ever seen it with John.
Right.
I think his name was Terrell.
Terrell. Yes. Terrell.
Yikes.
That's a fucking god-awful movie.
What a wonderful little novel you have there, L. Ron Hubbard, you child molester.
What's with you and child molesters? Like, you just always seem to pick up these child molesters.
Hey, you know what? It's not my fault so many people want to fuck little kids. You know, he had a bunch of little boys on his boat by himself.
Oh, God.
I don't know what's going on out there. I
God.
don't think they're playing soccer.
Oh, God.
Maybe with his balls.
There's no end to who John will go after. It's okay.
I know. The wall just keeps growing.
He's a crusader of justice. So yeah, so I think we've established kind of the ground rules.
Right.
And so we've named a few kind of in passing, but I would say that, you know, if you're really interested in B movies, you would have to see The Room.
Yes.
I think Troll 2 is a
Yes.
really good example. And then Birdemic is also a good example of a more postmodern kind of film.
I would also say, just because I am a fan, the movies of Edward D. Wood Jr.
Okay.
All
Ed
of
Wood.
them, yeah.
All
yeah.
of them.
Hey.
Dr.
it's-
Acula,
and
Glenn
again,
and
I think
Glenda.
he's a
Even
really,
Orgy of the Damned.
and he's a
Or Dead.
Wait.
Yes.
Ed Wood did.
He wrote it. You didn't know that.
Near the end
I
of
used
his
to watch
life,
that movie
man.
in college with my friends and just make fun of it.
The one where it's like Criswell and then a bunch of dancing girls.
and Day for
Yeah.
Night that doesn't work
Yes.
at all.
Yeah, he
That's
was
Ed
involved with that.
Wood?
He wrote
That
it.
makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch it in college. Like seriously,
No
in
shit.
in the dorms, I used to watch that in college.
Oh, Orgy
with
of
my
the
friends at the
I think
time.
it
yeah.
actually is Orgy of the Dead. I don't think it's Damned.
Yeah, it's Orgy of the Dead. It's definitely
Yeah.
Orgy of the Dead. Absolutely.
I thought
Classic
you said
film.
Orgy of the Dead.
I have it on VHS.
Oh my god. I haven't seen the movie in so long. I can't believe it's Ed Wood. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You
that's
know
an
a
Ed Wood
film's
film.
officially a B movie when it never gets even a DVD release, let alone then
Some of them
Blu-ray.
do.
Well, too, and I think a good example of this like spirit that we're talking about, right, where they think they are making art, is I think the Tim Burton film Ed Wood,
Yeah.
right? So it's about Ed Wood, is a really good example of like how he just wanted to make art and he didn't realize like
It was
such
I think
garbage,
he
you
was
know?
one of the most creative filmmakers. He was just in the wrong time.
and good about making something from nothing, right? Like really
Yeah.
good with improv and like kind of adapting to a situation. I totally agree.
I mean, I know that people get on him because he was an alcoholic, you know, and I don't know if I necessarily buy the whole argument from like Bela Lugosi's family that he was pretty much preying off of Bela Lugosi.
In the movie, they depict it like he just loves the guy.
That's what I was saying
you know?
is I don't think it was necessarily like that.
Well,
So-
in fairness to the movie of Ed Wood, it's really more of a love letter to that
Yeah.
drive-in B movie
Yes.
culture that Tim Burton was romancing. It was no way an accurate representation.
Yeah, it
of Ed
wasn't like
Wood.
a documentary.
No, but I mean,
or
like,
anything,
there's
but-
been criticism of that movie because,
Right.
especially from Bela Lugosi's estate, that they view Ed Wood as a parasite.
But if you look at them in like context too, I mean, they went after Universal for using Bela Lugosi's
Yeah.
likeness and everything too. So I mean, the family has been. There's no end to who the family's gone after
Right.
either. So I mean, that has to be taken with a grain of salt too. But I think to get that that feeling, like to understand, like, you know, how the filmmaker really views themselves and their own art, I think that Ed Wood's a good movie to watch to kind of understand
Yeah.
the mind of the kind of filmmaker that we're talking about.
Now- Well,
and also, it is one of the greatest Tim Burton movies. It might be my favorite Tim Burton movie. Actually,
It is the best Tim Burton.
I would say all around Tim Burton film, yes. But the thing is this, I love Mars Attacks.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's
You
a
know,
really
I
good one, yeah.
love Mars Attacks.
I love Ed Wood.
as
Ed
well.
Wood's my favorite.
I can take a step back and say it's not his best film, but my favorite's obviously Batman.
Well,
Tim
We
Burton
appreciate
movies.
you.
yeah.
We appreciate
yeah,
you.
I mean,
At
obviously.
31 years old, you can admit that that's not the best movie.
But you know, I can't remember who originally had stated it, but there's an old saying of, you know, somebody will that he stands up and applauds after every movie, no matter what it is, whether it's Citizen Kane or Catwoman. And they ask him why. He said because he knows just how difficult it is to make a film.
Tim Burton does?
No, I can't remember
Somebody
who
does
had
that.
stated this.
Somebody does that?
But yeah, because
Yeah, and it's hard.
even
It
though
is
no
hard.
matter how bad a film
Heartbreakingly
is,
so.
just creating one and getting it out there is an accomplishment in and of itself, even whether it's good or not. Mm-hmm.
It's true. Having it be finished. I mean, now of course we're very hard on
assholes.
films when they get it wrong.
Yeah, we are assholes.
Well, but I think too,
That's a guarantee.
It's difficult, but people sometimes also don't do it for the right reasons. They just want the cash grab, and that's I think the biggest way to
That's
piss off
the biggest
the three
sin.
of us is if you just want to make a quick buck, like we're going to hit you harder than anyone
And that's
else.
the thing to say is we're not against making money at all.
Yeah. Yeah, if
We're not
anybody wants
against
to, like,
making money.
benefactor us, we will sell
We're
out
just
so
saying
fast.
that, and this you could call it our elitist views, because we all got 6 degrees between the three of us.
That's true.
But I don't know.
It's terrifying.
I look at making a film is a little bit more than just I want to make a buck.
Oh, of course.
You
I mean,
you want to
it's an
make a buck. There are
expression.
much easier ways of making a buck.
Hell yes.
Yeah, hey, Mountain Dew, if you want me to pretend that your drink isn't a barrel of goat piss, I'll pretend to do it.
We're
if you
going
pay
after
me.
Mountain Dew now too. Huh?
Well, what? Mountain Dew's disgusting.
He's
Don't
in
tell me
rare
you like
form
Mountain Dew.
tonight, Brian. I don't know what happened.
I-
We
well,
talked about
what
beat
is-
movies. That's why.
Well, what is
Yeah.
Mountain Dew? Pepsi? Is that the Pepsi Corporation?
That's Pepsi.
Yeah, it's Pepsi.
Yeah.
I have nothing against the Pepsi Corporation. I just have a thing against Mountain Dew because it tastes like shit.
What about Code Red?
Oh, well,
You knew the sleepover was going to be intense when there was Code Red on the table.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not playing Bomberman and having a sleepover with acne all over my face, so I'm not drinking Code Red. I'm not playing Warcraft, so I don't have any time for Code Red.
No, that's when you just drink balls.
Oh,
Remember balls?
yeah, balls. Was it BAU or was it W?
B-A-W.
W.
Yeah.
Oh, I was at the movie theater the other day, and they make Surge slushies now. I about
No.
shit my pants. Yeah.
Which movie theater?
Cinemark in Settlers Ridge.
Okay,
Hey,
going
Cinemark
to
Settlers
it now.
Ridge, you want us to promote you? Give us free movie tickets. We will happily plug you every episode.
Yes.
We would
Okay.
like to thank Cinemark Settlers Ridge for their continued
Ooh,
support.
that would be great. We
Oh,
could try to
God.
do that. That'd be perfect.
Selling out to the man. But anyway, getting back to the point. Yeah, for us, the biggest sin is just trying to do this just for the money.
Yeah, and so
You know?
can
You can do both. You can have both.
And
you
we
can have both of
also
it.
can tell when people are just doing it for
Yeah.
the money and fail.
Michael Bay, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Michael Bay.
That's an example. He makes complete shit.
He does.
They're not B movies. They're just complete shit.
Well, you look at Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. He wanted to make a very good movie there. Did he also want to make a gazillion dollars? Yeah.
And did
Yeah.
he do both?
Yeah.
He
Sure
did.
Sure did. The
Why
second
not?
Spider-Man
Yeah.
was a good movie.
Third one. Yeah.
Third one. We don't talk
Yeah,
about that.
we don't have to
We
talk
don't talk
about
about that. But so yeah, I mean, I think like the primer on the topic, there's certain films that do come up again and again. But now we know John's favorite. Now, Brian, do you have a personal favorite?
Yeah. I mean, I've already brought it up, and we did a whole episode on it. But for me, Troll 2 is absolutely my absolute favorite B movie.
I think it's a great example of what a B movie is.
And like for me, here's the thing. My story regarding Troll 2 is that I had seen the film when I was a kid because it had played directly on HBO.
Okay.
It never went to theaters or any of that shit. It just went directly to HBO because that's where a lot of B movies went. Like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, same deal.
Okay.
Went directly to HBO.
that's a good one.
That's a B movie as well. I put that in the same realm. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, Troll 2 was on, and I was like, oh, this movie's awesome. Fucking, goblins, and even though, now
Right,
knowing
it's
it
okay.
now, it's like, oh, wow, there's some
okay.
really shitty parts.
It's okay.
But what got me, and the thing that I never knew what the hell this movie was called for the longest time, I just knew it as that movie that had the blatant Batman poster in the background.
Oh,
one of the shots.
yeah.
Which, knowing what I know now, that's complete and total fucking copyright infringement.
Can't do it.
And I'm surprised that Warner Brothers has not gone after them over it.
Shouldn't do
Yeah, like that's a big no-no. But
Well, is there not a fair use protection for things like that?
nope,
For set dressing,
not
no.
for set dressing.
But now they were in Times Square and they were filming there, and there was a Batman.
That's
thing
a different
behind him.
story.
That's a different story.
Yeah,
okay.
but no, like set dressing in which the production crew has direct control, you can absolutely, that's absolutely infringement.
Now this was 89, 90, so they might have not have been so much concerned with
Probably,
it.
free plug.
Well, too, I mean, it depends on the company as well. I mean, you can't get blood from a stone, so if you're going to try to sue a company that has no money,
True.
like you're paying for lawyers that even the other side can't pay for, too.
True.
So, I mean, that could have been the consideration.
And it was, and also wasn't like it is now, where
exactly.
it's kind of, on you're almost like walk on eggshells every single time you make anything because you're afraid that someone's going to sue your ass. But
Like the Church of Scientology.
like the Church of Scientology, apparently. Well, that's fine. We don't have any fucking money, so good luck with that. But yeah, I mean, I always knew about that movie. I'm like, oh, what's that movie? It had a Batman poster in the end of the film, and I think I went to like Yahoo Answers one day because I was just curious. You always get on like the curiosity loop on the internet. If it doesn't lead to porn,
I
it might
call it
lead
a
to
black
something
hole,
else.
but sure.
Yeah,
Nice
the black
plug for
hole.
Yahoo there. They don't get any love anymore. You went to Yahoo?
Well, this was like 10 or 15 years ago.
Okay.
This is when Yahoo had a little bit more credibility.
Back when you had to go to Yahoo to catch movie time.
That's right. But I found it on Yahoo Answers. Someone said, "Oh, it's called Troll 2." Looked it up. I'm like, "Oh my god, I need to get this." So I ended up finding it on the internet. Actually, it was on YouTube, and I think it still is on YouTube. And I watched it. I was like, "Oh god, this is great." But yeah, that still is my favorite movie because I have a direct connection to it. Like it's more than just
Right.
a shitty film. It's I was a kid. It harkens back to like when I was a kid and
So you have
better
like the
times.
emotional connection
Yeah,
to it as well.
yeah.
That's important. That's why we love films and watch them over and over again because of the way they make us feel, you know?
I feel like this is a bad Jeff Foxworthy routine, like some of the things we were mentioning, like, if your film is on YouTube and nobody cares, you might be a B movie. If they won't put your film on Blu-ray, you might be a B movie.
So Laine, what's your favorite?
I was thinking about this really hard today because you'd asked me earlier on Facebook like what my favorite was. And boy, I don't know that I have one just yet. I feel like it's still out there waiting for me.
Yeah.
You like Legally Blonde.
But that's a bad movie.
That's
not
just
a
a
B
bad movie.
Not
That's
B
just
movie.
unless you're like, in your 40s or 50s and you're like a housewife, you love Legally Blonde then.
Me?
No, like that's
Oh, they do.
I'm
like,
just saying
what?
they do.
Yeah. Maybe.
They really do.
Maybe.
My mom loves Legally Blonde.
People love what they love. It's fine.
I can't stand it.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think I've met that perfect one yet because like I can only watch Birdemic every couple years. It does delight every time, but I'm hesitant to name it
I saw
my
that
favorite.
for the first time at your 30th birthday.
Yeah, dude.
And
That's how
cracked
committed
the
John is
fuck
to the
up.
B movie.
Laine, is it fair to say, and I don't mean to call you out here, that you're not a big fan of B movies? Like a lot of people like bad movies, you're not one of them.
They don't make me as hard as they make you. I will say that.
I don't
readily.
know. Here's the thing. My fiance doesn't like him either. She really doesn't. She'll always be like, "Why do you want to watch a bad movie?" I said, "You don't get it.
And I don't
Don't get it.
Them per
It's. I always say it's like this. It's the difference of wanting a piece of steak or a greasy burger. Sometimes you really just want the greasy burger.
It's true.
Sometimes you want Taco Bell, and that's okay.
Exactly.
You just got to warn your
I mean,
butthole ahead
that's
of time.
not to say that I don't appreciate steak. I love steak.
Sure.
Everybody loves steak. But every once in a while, you want the grade Z meat of Taco Bell.
It's true.
Mostly when you really need to clean your colon out, you know?
when you're really constipated and you're like, oh man, it's nothing to get it out of. I've taken like 2 things of Easy Lax and that sort of thing, and nothing is coming out. So I think I'll just make a trip to Taco Bell, and boom, 2 hours later, it's all gone.
It's true. It's true. I mean, yeah, and like I don't know, because I've given it a lot of thought, and like it is fair to say that I don't love B movies as much as you do, John, because you love B movies. You love them so much. They make you so happy, and more often than not, they kind of stress me out. But
They stress you out?
A little bit, because I'm just like, they tried so hard and it's so terrible. Like, I don't know. I guess just being an empath, I just feel bad because like they do think that they've created something so great, and I'm like, no, you didn't though. It's really bad. I don't know. I feel bad. Like
Yeah.
it's like
You almost
kicking
get stressed
a
and
puppy.
angered at these movies.
I do, and it's like kicking a puppy. It's like, something that can't defend itself.
like watching Birdemic, I can see that because especially with the visual effects.
Oh God, they're so
my God.
amazing.
John, you want to describe the visual effects in Birdemic?
Okay. Well, so if you haven't seen this movie, shame on you for 6 weeks.
Shame on you for 6 weeks.
But out of nowhere, in a complete Hitchcockian ripoff, birds just start attacking for absolutely no reason. And the effect they use is just a seagull. And what they do is, I believe they're just taking a still image of a seagull, and then they
I didn't
animate
even think it was a still.
No, I don't think
like
it's a still. I think it's like an MS Paint, or it's a really shitty like graphic. Like it's one of these like models you can buy off of like Squid Do or something like that.
glorified clip art.
It literally is, and it's just like a looping bird.
And it just, its wings flap like very slowly up and down.
Yes.
And it stays stationary. So they're trying to fend off like these birds. So they're like in the shot's frame that they're like in a corner, and they're stuck, and they have like wire hangers, don't ask. And they're trying to stab the birds or get them to shoo bird. And the birds are
get
just
away, bird.
they're just floating there in front of them, blurry,
Yeah.
just their wings going up and down slowly. And that's it.
The visual effects kind of offend every single one it's senses.
They offend every single
Not just
one of
the
the
eyes.
senses.
It just like you feel it
You don't
inside.
understand.
You feel like
It's
a warm
all
rage.
the senses.
It's bad. It's really bad. But now I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Because we've talked about it on the show before. Is Tiptoes a B movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd think that was done. That was an independent film. It had to be.
Some super famous people are in it.
I mean, it probably had a budget. It probably had a major budget, but it was an independent movie.
I don't know. I'm kind of divided on
Me
that
too,
one.
because I think it's just a bad movie kind of.
I think it's an offensive fucking bad movie
really
that should be
offensive.
burned.
Well, no question about
And I don't
that.
mean burned on disc. I mean like literally, Harry Potter book burning type burning. You know that's a thing now again.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
Did you hear about that?
Oh, I sure did. Did you hear all of her or see all of her replies?
Yeah, she's like, "Fuck you, I got
they
your money,
are
bitch."
Savage as fuck. Well, she didn't name call.
Yeah,
she didn't
dude,
name
Thug
call.
Life is...
No, she didn't name call, but so a few people of very conservative background have found out J.K. Rowling's political leanings, and that she's anti-Trump, and they've.
You mean
been
that she's
saying
a
that they're-
decent human being?
That they're, I mean, she's. All I'll say is that she's anti-Trump.
Decent human
and they've been burning her books and movies. The Harry Potter franchise in
Hey,
response.
they're just acting like their nature.
Well, I mean,
Nazis, that's what they do.
We've seen this story before in Harry Potter. We understand the rise and fall of an autocrat.
And we also know that all we have to do are just find Donald Trump's and Steve Bannon's Horcruxes and destroy them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really it,
Maybe that's why Pat Toomey's missing. Maybe he's a
Horcrux.
Perfect. I just
Apparently
thought
our
that.
senator's missing.
Yeah, well, he's not answering any
Just
of
like,
his
fuck
phones
everyone, I'm sorry.
and any of his
Hey,
offices.
Pat Toomey, get back to work, you bum. You dirty bum.
But J.K. Rowling had said, because someone was like, I'm going to burn all my DVDs and books and everying. And,
Enjoy the fumes.
And she said the DVD fumes are likely toxic, and I've already got your money, so by all means, use my lighter. Oh, I want to be J.K. Rowling when I grow up.
Oh my god.
She's amazing. But yeah, so I don't even remember how we got on this tangent, but I'm so glad you brought it up because it made me so happy today.
Well, no, I meant about Tiptoes and how that movie should be burned.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be burned.
Yeah, 'cause it's terrible.
There we go.
It's a terrible fucking film.
It is. And I think it's a bad movie, not a B movie.
yeah.
Because if it was a B movie, I think it would be my favorite.
I'm surprised that no one has interviewed Gary Oldman and just said, "So Tiptoes."
Oh, maybe.
What the fuck?
Well, maybe those interviews haven't seen the light of day because he gets all mad.
He would probably like
Does he
it.
get mad over Tiptoes?
Oh, I
Well,
don't know, but
no, I was gonna say he probably likes it more than Harry Potter and Batman.
yeah, he's
He doesn't like Harry Potter
He
and
doesn't
Batman?
like any of the
Well, he thinks they're
characters
garbage.
that he's done.
Yeah.
He was a
won't-
good Commissioner Gordon. What's the problem with
but
it?
if
He thinks
sees
they're
a fan
garbage
on
movies.
but if he sees a fan on the street and they're like Commissioner Gordon, like he'll be a dick about it.
Oh, he doesn't like being typecasted.
He's not a nice guy.
Well,
He
he's also
doesn't wanna
said in
be like
interviews,
Michael
like,
Keaton.
they're
They mean nothing to him.
They're trite movies, like they're movies for boorish people that I did for paychecks.
So if I went up to him and said, "Hey, Stansfield, how's it going?" He'd be okay with that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Stansfield was. Do you know who Stansfield is?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just don't know any
Guy
of the
from The
ones.
Professional.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know any of the ones that he's like.
Or if I said, "Hey, Sid Vicious."
Yeah, I don't think he really gives a fuck about any of his fans.
No.
He seems like kind of a dick.
He should really regret Air Force One. That movie's.
I was gonna say.
John and I watched Air Force One for the first time.
Well, you
That's-
did. You did for the first time.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess I should say that you. that's-
Pigeonhole me. I saw that in the movie theater in '97.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I ruined your street
Greatest.
cred.
Greatest.
Great movie
president
or greatest
ever.
movie?
Greatest.
Get off my plane.
Greatest movie president ever. Well, I don't know. I mean,
Speaking of terrible movie effects.
No, Bill
my
Pullman
good
in
God.
Independence
well, that's
Day.
what I'm saying. I would have said Bill Pullman, Independence Day, up until Independence Day regurgitation.
It's true.
That
You
movie just
ruined
never
it.
happened. I blocked that movie out.
The history of that
funny-
doesn't exist.
It's funny how many bad movies we've mentioned in this discussion of B films, but
Yeah.
I hope like listeners have favorite ones. Like,
Well,
I'm
I'm
always
glad you
looking
mentioned
for
that.
guys.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I do have a couple.
Excellent.
Shall I list my 10?
Oh, you've got 10.
John has 10 favorite B movies.
Holy
Of
shit!
course
Yeah,
you
let's
do.
go listen to those.
A lot of these have been mentioned, and some of them we've apparently have taken out of the equation, or I'll ask if we take them out of the equation. Obviously, number one's The Room.
Yeah,
We've mentioned Birdemic.
yeah.
Number 3 we have not mentioned yet. One of the greatest movies of all time, Mac and Me.
Shit,
The
that
ET
movie's-
ripoff. Yeah.
Oh, and guys, we will be doing Mac and Me for a Pantheon voter shit. I can't say when, but it's coming.
It's coming.
this year. Yeah, it's a giant McDonald's and Coca-Cola commercial. Ronald McDonald and a bunch of kids are dancing in a McDonald's that has nothing to do with the movie other than let's sell some fucking McDonald's.
I wonder if they had action figures for Mac and Me.
Probably
Oh,
Happy Meal toys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should look that up. That's funny. All right, so keep going. Number 4.
Number 4 was Tiptoes, which we talked about.
Okay.
Number 5, big budget here, says probably doesn't count. The Happening.
Oh yeah, it's a bad movie though. I agree. If it fits the other hallmarks except for budgetary concerns.
Except for maybe Birdemic in The Room, I don't think I've ever laughed so hard at a movie. I might have laughed at that one more because you could tell that M. Shamalama Ding Dong like really wanted to try to say something and he failed horribly.
I thought we were
His
going to get kicked
failure
out. You laughed so much.
was even better. Yeah,
I saw it in the theater. I don't remember. Were we sober or no?
yeah, we were. It was.
I don't
yeah,
think
we
you
saw
can watch that movie sober.
That was that
okay.
was the mistake because we didn't know it was gonna be bad. It's like okay, you had about 3 bad ones in a row. Maybe this is the
Yeah,
comeback.
like we were still like hoodwinked by Shyamalan. We were like, oh, maybe this
Oh
one's
no!
going to be okay.
Here's the thing. I had him already pegged the minute I saw what the fuck was it?
The Village.
No, before
Signs.
that. Yeah, Signs.
Signs was it.
Signs did it for me. I was just like,
what's
fuck
his
you.
worst movie of all time?
Avatar.
I'm gonna say
Avatar.
Last,
Last
no,
Airbender.
the Last Airbender. That was his worst one. You think Lady in the Water
I
is
heard
bad?
Lady in the Water was terrible. I didn't
Oh,
see it.
Lady in the Water was the worst. You know why? Because it was unlike his other bad movies that are hilarious and fun to watch. Lady in the Water is boring and just grating.
Here's the thing.
Good
He
to know.
apparently is on the rebound now with Split.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard
I've heard
it's
some things.
decent.
I've heard some things, and I've heard some other things because it's not very sensitive to
Mental
mental
illness.
conditions.
Yeah.
and I
Jesus.
think that a lot of movies are really just not getting it right in terms, especially of something like schizophrenia. They're just not getting
Yeah.
it right. But the main buzz is for James McAvoy because
Yeah.
apparently he's amazing in it.
Yeah, and that's kind of
amazing
and
in it.
honestly, I want to watch that.
Yeah, he's.
You know,
I
I
think
mean,
it'd be a good
I understand
performance.
the issue with portraying mental illness in a specific
And I feel like
light.
Hollywood just really doesn't ever get
They
it right.
they never do. They
Exactly.
never will. They never do. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think from a horror movie you're going to get mental illness portrayed correctly.
I don't think so either. But I heard that
And it's not going to be the most sensitive thing.
Yeah,
No.
and I've heard that the other actresses in it are pretty good. And,
Yeah.
I've heard like it's not bad. Yeah,
Been like number 1 2 weeks in a row.
really.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
realize
number
it was
1.
making money like
it's,
that.
It's making a crap ton of money. It
cool.
beat out new movies that came out this week, just passing
no
this Sunday,
kidding.
and then it beat out the ones coming out the previous week.
Well, look at you, Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Maybe you've come a long way since
Yeah,
the happening.
Shumalumi, you did it.
He's probably pissed off just going, you know what? I tried making movies I wanted to make. I guess I'll just give them, what they want. Because apparently this movie, Split, takes place in the same universe as Unbreakable.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. It's like the
how
sequel
does
to it.
that, how do people even know that? What about
There
it?
is apparently a cameo from Bruce Willis.
Oh.
Huh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, and hey, all you people that are burning J.K. Rowling's books, I love Bruce Willis, and I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump, but if he makes a good movie,
he?
he's Republican all the way.
I'm not going to burn my copy of Die Hard.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it every Christmas and love it. I love
Yeah.
you, Bruce Willis. You voted for a giant orange dildo, but I love you.
He probably is thinking now, yeah, kind of made a mistake.
All right. So
Elaine
anyway, so
totally
John was
just
on-
cheated some looks onto my list here.
I looked to see what number we're on so I could keep you on task.
Sorry.
Okay, so we got next.
Number 6, the granddaddy of them all, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
And that's number 5. That's what I was looking for
Awesome
the
film.
numbers.
Well,
so
no,
you
that
can-
was 6,
or-
because the happening was 5.
Or yeah, for number 6.
7 is one most people don't know about, Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good one.
So, yeah, if you haven't seen that one, do yourself a favor. Go out
Favor?
and check out Samurai
Is favor
Cop.
the word we want?
Yes. It's as amazing as it sounds. I don't
All right.
really want to go into too much detail.
That's okay. It's all right. Keep going.
Number 8, Miami Connection.
Oh god, that movie's so bad.
Miami Connection?
Oh, it's so bad.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's so
the
bad. You know,
ninja.
a colleague of ours put a bunch of B movies on a flash drive for John for that 30th birthday we were talking about for his 30th.
Shall we throw a name out?
Yeah, our
Bethany
Bethany.
Renala?
Oh,
Just maybe first names.
yeah, Bethany.
Yeah, Bethany gave him. Like,
Yeah, let's not call out
3
people.
Got 3 like
Unless they
movies.
were
We're
on
giving them a
Facebook.
plug. Well, not like we shit on her, you know.
Well, no, but I mean,
we
like,
never would.
yeah, I was just like, I don't think we should put last names, but no, that's what she gave him for his birthday. Isn't that like the perfect gift for John?
For you, yeah.
3 B movies on a flash drive. I
Yeah.
love it.
Number 9, of course, Troll 2.
Yep.
It's got to make
Classic.
every list.
Yep.
Classic.
And lastly here, one that most people outside of the niche audience of this particular type of thing have not seen, and that's the Hulk Hogan vehicle, No Holds Barred,
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my god.
where he plays Rip Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, well, there's a couple missing there. So, like, for instance,
Okay.
we're missing the Toxic Avenger.
You know, but what once again, is that not a purposely made B movie?
No, here's the thing. Trauma?
Kaufman, all of his movies are purposely B
No,
movies.
but here's the thing. With Kaufman, he puts a lot of heart in his films.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at those movies and I'm going, oh, this is just shit for shit's sake. Yes, he is adding more humor into him, but I think every movie that he makes, at least the early stuff, there's heart put into him. I've never watched a Trauma film and just been like, oh, they were half-assing it.
I wasn't suggesting that. I was saying that they're purposely making like exploitation movies.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying is B movies can be exploitation films.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look at those movies as they're bad films. I look at them as, like, The Toxic Avenger, I love that film. The same with, what the fuck is it? A lot of Tromeo and Juliet. That's a good one.
That's funny.
Poultrygeist.
Poultrygeist is what he said.
Poultrygeist.
Oh my
Yes.
god, yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those Trauma films, those are obviously B movies,
Right.
So I'm assuming our beloved Thanksgiving is not on the list because that movie was made to be terrible.
No. For so many reasons,
That's an
that is
abomination.
never going to be on any list because I've never been so angry while watching a film in my life. Like, I've never felt rage like that. And I feel
It's for the turkey rape, isn't it?
I have to put it behind me. The only good thing that came out of that movie was fucking.
Fucking.
Y'all are still welcome. But I've never been so irrationally upset as I was.
Nice pat on your own back there. I like it.
And hey, you get every fucking clamor every week, and just one time I got it, so suck it. But yeah, no, that can't be because they have to bring you some kind of joy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like those films bring you joy. So maybe my favorite B movie is Orgy of the Dead because it makes me so
That brings you a lot of joy,
fucking
doesn't it?
happy, yeah.
I gotta say that was, by the way, that is the second or third episode that we plugged Thanksgiving. So if the filmmakers want to send us an autograph poster,
Yeah,
That'd
dude.
be cool.
I'll put it in my house. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys kind of some reactions we got from Facebook.
Yeah,
'Cause I
totally.
did ask people
We
on
did
Facebook.
have a decent discussion today.
And so I'm just kind of going to go down the line here. Should I give names?
No, I wouldn't.
No?
First
Okay.
names, maybe.
First names. So David responded on Facebook and said that his favorite movie is, get this, Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
And see, I would say it's a bad movie, not a B movie, but I support him.
I consider that a B movie.
Really?
I get enjoyment out of
done
Masters of the
independently, and I'm pretty sure it was done for like $20. Like
Really?
they had
Oh, was
no
it cheap?
budget.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well then,
Yeah.
Then welcome to B movies. I
Somehow-
love that movie. I love that movie.
Love
It's so
that
good.
film.
It's so good.
Somehow, for some reason, they did not have any faith in any of our Saturday morning cartoons that we would come out in the theaters. For the longest time, Ninja Turtles, which is probably the biggest Saturday morning cartoon, was the highest grossing independent film of all time till Blair Witch Project. Nobody wanted to make that movie. You would think with all the merchandise flying off shelves, the high-rated cartoon show, the comic book.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
nobody wanted to make it. Nobody wanted to make, mass,
Yeah. And I loved He-Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's based on.
The thing is, though, Masters of the Universe suffered from being released after He-Man was big.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
There was
like
a
it
gap.
came out
yes.
around like
The movie
late
came out
80s.
in like 86.
I think 90, actually.
No, 90.
Let's see.
Okay, IMDb race here.
Oh, all right. All right, John's typing in his phone. Brian's on the computer. It's getting very exciting. We're figuring out the year. See, I thought
87.
And I said 86.
87.
I said 86. I win.
My phone has 90. I'm right.
87. Yep. But yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that movie had. Okay, you know how we just talked about Catwoman being $100 million?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Master of the Universe cost $22 million to make.
Right, but how many dollars is that in 1986, though?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? You got to like always keep inflation in
Yeah,
mind.
fucking inflation. But yeah, only made $17 million.
Oh,
Poor Master.
I love it. I love that movie. That's funny.
I think that has to be probably Frank Langella's best role
Oh my god,
as
easily.
Skeletor.
Easily.
Suck it, Frank Langella.
So that was David's. He gave us Master of the Universe. I also have down from our friend Ryan, Haggerty. I had him on the show.
Yeah,
I can give Haggerty his name.
We can do that.
Okay, so Ryan Haggerty, producer and director of photography of Blood on the Leaves, he goes ahead and he gave us Shot Corridor, which I did not know what the fuck this movie was
That doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
until I watched the trailer.
Okay.
And the trailer is amazing. It's actually part of the Criterion collection, okay?
What?
Yes.
There's a Criterion
Yes.
How,
So,
if it's bad, did it get a criteria?
oh, because it's great. It's from 1963. And I'm reading this off of the Criterion Collection's website. In Shot Corridor, the greatest American writer, director, producer Samuel Fuller masterfully charts the uneasy terrain between sanity and madness, seeking a Pulitzer Prize reporter, Johnny Barrett, has himself committed to a mental hospital to investigate a murder. As he closes in on the killer, insanity closes in on him. Constance Towers co-stars as Johnny's cool-headed stripper girlfriend, with its startling commentary on racism and other hot-button issues in the 60s America, and its daring photography by Stanley Cortez. Now that's a very heady description.
It's a little like Maya.
If you
Breckenridge.
yes, and that's Criterion. But if you watch the trailer, Johnny, they go ahead and have like different cases, and like Johnny's case that pops up, they call him Johnny B. Okay, Johnny B. Case number 1. And his issue, his madness is that he thinks his girlfriend is his sister, so he gets weirded out every single time his girlfriend tries to make out with him.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Huh?
Okay? Case number 2 is Constance. Okay?
Oh my.
And Constance is a stripper, and she's got stripper
sense.
issues, and they like call her. They say that her disorder is meant like it's like something like weird, like extreme sensuality or abnormal sensuality or some shit like that.
Oh wow.
Very
Sensuality. What does it
1960s.
even mean?
And then they show an African American actor in there, and of course they're dropping like the Negro word on there. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
It was the 60s.
Yeah, they're like, he's got schizophrenia. And I'm just like,
Oh
what
my.
the fuck?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't do that. But it's a terrible film.
That's amazing.
And it's Shot Corridor, 1963. That's from Ryan Haggerty.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. My brother Tyler Coddington went ahead and said, obviously, The Room. His comment was, it's that piece of garbage that is so awful, but you're like, oh shit, it's another transition to a city skyline. Will it go to a sex scene or a room with framed pictures of spoons?
He has a point.
That's my brother.
That's a good one.
So obviously that, Keegan went ahead and said Voyage of the Rock Aliens.
Oh.
from 1984.
You have my
I
phone.
have to look this up.
He
That
said
looks amazing.
look that up. He said for the longest time, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians was
Oh,
clearly the
yeah.
favorite, which
That's a good
I
one.
love that one. That one's
the
good.
riff tracks of it's really good too.
Yes, obviously.
Nice.
But yeah, Voyage of the Rock Aliens.
Very nice. Very nice.
Let's see what
well,
else
it's
we got
clearly
here.
a beloved kind of form of entertainment. You know, anyone that's not familiar should
Oh,
really
the
give
poster
it a try.
is perfect.
Yeah, describe what the poster is.
The story of a guy, a girl, and an alien. And one night, they will... Oh, and damn it. And the one night, they will always remember. Special appearance by Jermaine Jackson, everybody.
Oh, shit.
Everyone's favorite Jackson.
Oh shit!
Speaking of child molesters, Michael Jackson. So, see, it's coming full circle.
God.
But the poster has it's in outer space, has a robot hand holding a photo of what looks like Johnny Depp's headshot they got him on 21 Jump Street. And a very 80s woman on his
A
shoulder.
very
Johnny Depp
80s
in it.
woman.
No, oh boy, who is this guy?
He just looks like Johnny Depp.
He just looks like Johnny Depp.
I think he's Jimmy of Jimmy and the Mustangs.
Flash it at me. I want to see it. Oh
Let
my
me see here.
good God.
Oh shit!
It's so 80s. It hurts
so
me.
80s.
It hurts me inside.
Oh, there's another one that has multiple things going on. A lot of garbage in the frame here. But if you want to hear some of the wonderful songs by Jermaine Jackson, there, When the Rain Begins to Fall, A Little Bit of Heaven, Real Love, Nature of the Beast, and Let's Dance Tonight.
Oh my.
Oh jeez.
Oh my. All right.
I got two more.
Okay. Hit me.
A coworker of mine, Jen, told me about a movie called Rad.
Okay. John?
Have you ever heard of Rad?
Have you ever-
Oh, Rad, the bicycle movie?
Yes.
Rad is not a bad movie. That
John's
is
an expert.
Awesome movie.
John's an expert.
That's clearly a B movie though.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about ass sledding.
Okay. And?
Okay.
Final
That
suggestion
also
for
has
the
Lori
Facebook?
Loughlin in it.
Who brought up Rad?
A
coworker.
coworker of mine.
Oh, your coworker's awesome. if
She
they like
is
Rad.
awesome. She listens to the show.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What's
Hey,
her
Jen.
first name?
Jen.
Jen, you are awesome. Rad is great.
Rad's great. So I told her we'd probably review that eventually.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
So
Excellent.
and then the last one I have is Kathy. She went ahead and said Mr. Sardonicus from 1961.
Ooh.
She said, why? Because it scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I used to love to be scared to death. So I don't know. Yeah, who is that?
That's my mom.
That's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Okay.
Thanks, Mom.
Your mom used to be scared to death. She doesn't like it anymore.
When she said scared the hell out of me, I was like, that's my mom. yeah, thanks,
Mr.
Kat.
Sardonicus. I've
Matt.
never
We'll have
heard
to
of that
check it
one.
out. That's
Mr.
awesome.
Sardonicus. Yeah, go figure.
I love it.
So
Nice. So yeah, I mean, like, it's funny because we, spend so much time saying, oh, these are bad movies, but like, what does it really matter if they bring you some kind of enjoyment?
that's
like,
the thing.
That's why we do
every
Pantheon of Utter
every
shit,
movie
you know?
that you watch it's either you're gonna be it's gonna elicit some kind of response.
Of course.
So if you're watching a B movie and it's complete shit, but you get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, and if
That's
it's-
really the difference.
And if it's something we didn't name, tell us about it.
Yes, please. If you've this entire month. Okay, we did our first round this
B-movie
episode.
February,
It's
guys.
B movie madness
Yes.
month.
Yes.
Okay, and we actually have a hashtag for it. Okay, B movie mad month. Hashtag B movie mad month.
Hashtag B Movie Mad Month. All
Okay.
right. All right.
Wait, is
So-
it hashtag See Good Film Week?
No.
Oh. Well,
I don't really know why we let you hang out.
Why do we
still.
let you here?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but if
you
this
don't.
entire-
I just hijack a mic every
if
week.
this entire month of February you have a B movie that you love and you want us to know about it, just go ahead, find us on Twitter at Psycho Show, find us on Facebook, let us know about it. We'll talk about it on the air.
Yeah, totally.
Very cool.
And if you feel more comfortable individually, you can find me at Twitter at LA_Croft.
If you send your picks for the films to me and also something that you want me to read on the air, I will read whatever you write at the Unreal J Wolves. So send your picks to me and what you would like me to say
Oh
on the
God!
air.
This is gonna get really bad.
I'm just gonna throw it out
expecting
there.
a barrage of dick pics. By
I'm
the
just
way,
gonna say there's two caveats: no racial slurs and no just unspeakable hate. But anything else, I will say on the air. No.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Brian will make no such promise.
I will make no such promise. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus at Psycho Show, obviously. You can find my own personal Twitter at Brian Coddington. You can also find us at the Epicast Network.
Yay!
Epicast Network. You can go to the epicastnetwork.com.
You can also find other great things there after you've listened to us and rated us and commented and, told your friends.
What type of
to
shows
listen
can they
to
find?
us. Well, they can find Drinking Partners, which
Yep.
is probably their biggest. Does It Hold Up? Professor
Marta on the
Buzzkill.
Move. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of great quality audio. If you have a favorite movie or question you want to throw our way, you can contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. And make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes to catch our new episode available every Friday.
The doll, how did it burn? How did it burn? How did it burn?